Welcome to the kingdom in the sky. First, let me begin by asking you, what comes to mind when you hear Lesotho? Have you even heard of Maseru, which is the capital city of Lesotho? In this video, I'm going to be showing you the beauty of Lesotho, especially the capital city, Maseru. Today, we're going to take a slow, beautiful walk as well as a drive in all the clips that I've been able to see and to engage in, to experience here in Maseru, the capital city of Lesotho, as I show you exactly why people are falling in love with this beautiful country and why you should consider putting it on your bucket list, or at least a place to come and explore, connect with the African culture, with the people, as well as a whole different, community and group of people. Now, before we even go further, based on the views that you're seeing and how green the place is, I'd like to hear from the comments in the comment section down below. What are your honest thoughts about this city? What do you think about this city? And I'll be keen to share exclusively all that I think. Anyway, Maseru is not your typical capital city. It is calm, it is clean, it is green. Let me tell you, the weather changes abruptly. Like, it can be rainy, it can be cold, it can be windy, it can be sunny, depending on what's happening. And even on some days it snows, especially in the current season. The city, just as the country, is not that big. Therefore, don't expect to meet a lot of like big skyscrapers, massive big roads, because it's also serving to not a big population. But for Lesotho, this is sufficient. There's no much noise, no loud honking or no traffic, things like this. But one thing I'll guarantee you, you'll hear the taxi drivers, the public transport here, because the population is less. Therefore, the mode of transport also caters for a small population. Therefore, it's just going to be like a taxi that only carries 4 people legally, but in reality carries, let's say, around 7 passengers. Now, those you will expect to be honking and calling people to partake in the bus drive. A taxi drive. This drive will for sure show us what Maseru looks like, but we're on a drive to a lake where we're going to be seeing, just like another side of Maseru, far away from where we've been staying, where we've been exploring, and what you guys have been seeing on my previous videos. Also, we'll take a walk within the city center. The city is not that big, therefore there's still not so many things to explore, but definitely we are going to have a blast, as if for sure, because we are in a city and about to have fun. I'm going to be sharing more details about other things that you get to see here. So I'm exploring Lesotho Maseru town, and it's so frustrating when I talk to people and I cannot speak their language. But this city, it reminds me of like Nakuru town in Kenya, like one of those places, but way more when people are speaking their local language. It reminds me of speaking Swahili, that I really want to engage in some local language, Yeah, so this is my experience today. One thing I'll guarantee you with this city is you'll definitely experience some peace. Because there's almost no pressure that's coming from like people, from chaos, especially that you experience in different cities. We are here at Green Lake. It's a restaurant stroke hotel where we're here to explore what beautiful spots we can find here in Maseru, and I'm sure you love it, because I did love it and I enjoyed it and had a good time here. So there's a lake here, it's called the Green Lake. If you're looking for somewhere to stay, this is a perfect location. Yeah, you get to enjoy the beautiful view of the lake from up here. Isn't that cute, with a small swimming pool over there? Who does not like to chill with loved ones by a beautiful view, a cozy space, well maintained with all the green going on, with some jazz music presented to you, like full on entertainment. This was the vibe that we came to experience here at this place, as we were also foreseeing and looking at the lake. But unfortunately, the event was cancelled specifically around the same time. Therefore, we decided to entertain ourselves just because what, Anyway, the thing is, I was still impressed to find a beautiful space and a beautiful spot here in Maseru. Not to mean like, okay, this is what I mean. I was just happy to explore a new space and a beautiful one for that matter. Now that we are here at a place of accommodation and things like this, we can discuss about the cost of living here in Maseru. And based on my analysis, I'd say with 100 USD, it can take you far ahead, like in terms of what you're able to get in comparison to what you get in other African cities, especially like capital cities. To stay in this hotel was $50, but like you guys go do your due diligence. $50 to $100. I'm quite not sure. Let me clarify that. But I didn't spend here. I'm just like giving you a perspective so you can see how much that is and how much you can get for the space and the experience. Anyway, after staying here, we went forward to experience other places. Well, eating or drinking or cup of something, it's not expensive, guys. It's just like, below $10, something like this. Drives in Maseru are therapeutic. Why? Because you see the beauty. Everywhere you go, a mountain. Everywhere you see some green. Everywhere you go, good roads as well. Like just some good vibe. I for sure enjoy driving within Maseru and just having that experience. Well, once you leave Maseru, the capital city, the road is not necessarily the same standard, but within the city center, you have a good experience. And of course, no traffic, guys, what you're talking about. Anyway, I really was enjoying the landscape of Maseru. Now, you will not fail to see the beauty of the culture too as you drive within the city center. You know how in some countries, when you go to the city center, you find people have been modernized. You cannot necessarily see the culture unless you go to like touristy places where people have been paid to be in those places, or they're waiting for tips to benefit in that way. I'm sure you guys have visited, or at least have seen on my videos, that vibe being given. Well, that is not the case here in Maseru, the capital city of Lesotho. As you drive around, you easily notice how people wear their hats. People wear, well, like there's the traditional hat, but there's also a culture of just putting on hat. And one thing that I found so interesting, because as we were driving here, I was able to see some students coming from school. You know how people have uniform? Here in Maseru, students actually are required to put on a hat as part of their uniform, which I found that to be very interesting. Stick around because I think I took a clip of that, and you should be able to see students coming from school and just people living in their true culture, sort of. I have nothing against modernization, but I am a proud advocate of people also maintaining their culture and their practices and their ways, which in Maseru, I was so happy to see it. Like the blanket, the hats, those were the loud ones. And then other factors in terms of the culture has to be people speaking their language, people speaking more in their Sesotho, as well as greeting people, just conversing. It just makes you feel like you're inside within their culture. Well, you might not be able to see that on the video as we drive around, but definitely those are the experiences you will expect in malls as you take walks and stuff like this. Now, whether you're driving or you're walking, you'll not fail to go or stand or stop at Kingsway Road. This is because it is one of the most main road, not one, it is the main road here in Maseru, where people meet. If you're doing like, hey, where are you at? Can we meet in town? You know how people have like landmarks on where they meet. Also, it's one of the city center stops. Well, and it connects you from like the stretch all the way from the Basotho Hut all the way to a roundabout that has, you know, like some history around that, all the way to the street, to the market. Like it's a whole stretch road or lane that you definitely will experience. This is how it looks like. You know, I am appreciating the beauty of Maseru as a city. For sure, if you're looking for a city that is, you know, chilled, a city that has nothing much going on in terms of chaos that comes with a city, definitely Maseru should be a city that you should consider. And of course, another bonus that I love about this country as well as this city is how close it is to like other countries. Let's say South Africa, you can be able to experience other things that you might feel like Lesotho is not offering. Definitely you can be able to grab them close by. Anyway, I have been enjoying my stay here in Maseru, Lesotho. I hope you guys have also been enjoying the videos. And yeah, I had to give you guys a night view so you can see even at night how landscapey those views look like. Like, look, you see where the lights are up there? We're going to be driving all that way. And you guys, and I tell you, I enjoyed the drives here. I sure did. Stick around, as in the next video we're going to be conquering a mountain here in Lesotho. You cannot afford to miss out on that. Otherwise, subscribe and always remember to create time for that which ignites your soul. Until next time, goodbye, coming to you from Maseru, Lesotho.